What's up, everybody? This is Alex Oxshire, Artist Relations Manager for Orange, and I am here today with the legendary Grammy Award-winning Matt Pike, Orange Ambassador for many years, and probably the most associated with Orange artist alive right now.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
How are you doing, man?
It's just because you guys gave me mounds of it to play through, so
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't
yeah,
hurt at all.
I'm doing all right. Got
Good.
some, I got some raspberries on my knee because I bailed on my wife's electric bike going like 30 miles an hour, and these kids were tailgating me, and I totally bailed. But yeah,
Did you
but
fuck
I
him
bailed the
up?
right way, so I just have some big raspberries on my knees, like big old scabs. Yeah, can't wait to pick them. They need to dry a little more.
Is that a thing for you? You
Picking
like picking
scabs
scabs?
when I was a kid, yeah.
Do you like popping pimples?
I didn't really have a whole lot of zits. I always
Oh.
felt bad for my friends who did.
I had some of those. They were super fun.
Yeah.
Uh, what's what's a man like you doing talking to a dude like me today? What are we doing here, man?
I
What
don't
do you want to
know.
get into?
Yeah, I was gonna plug my Patreon a little. I started my. It was kind of weird. My wife made some music videos for herself when she figured out I had a computer that had all that software, the crazy. Forgot what it's called. It's a film editing thing, and she's gotten super good at it. So, and I'm sitting around not doing nothing, no touring or anything. I'm making music like crazy, but the only way that other people can see you do anything is if you film it. So me and her have been filming. Like I said, she let me have an Instagram, which I probably shouldn't have one, but because I already I
She
accidentally
lets
put
you
a
have an
fucking
Instagram?
tax return up on there that I sent to my accountant, and I was like, and it says you have not paid taxes, you're in deep shit, and it had my address on it, and I was like, holy fuck, how did I post that? And I got this new phone, and the phone has a shortcut to Instagram. So I sent it to my accountant, and then it posted on Instagram, and I'm like, fucking dude,
So
I'm
you
that kind of
posted
rich
your
now.
tax
I'm
return to your Instagram,
not my
just like
tax
some
return.
celebrity would post their dick to their Twitter
Yeah,
accidentally.
yep, yeah, pretty much. That's kind of what happened. It got taken down pretty quick, but I had all these people on my Instagram all, dude, you should take that down. I'm all, take what down? I didn't fucking post anything, and no, my phone did it for me. So, yeah, that was kind of stupid. I just,
Well, hey, what is your Instagram, by the way?
oh, it's Matt Pike, or yeah, it's Matt Pike 1972.
Gotcha. And that's all you. I mean, obviously it's you if you're
Yeah,
posting
yeah,
your tax return
it's really me.
accidentally.
Yeah, and then yeah, so I put little fun things like I started having coffee every morning and saying some funny shit, and and it kind of started a ball rolling where I don't do it every day now, but every few days I post a new one once I think of something funny to say, and then that kind of we started a Patreon where I'm giving lessons, and there's comic relief. You know what I mean? But there's also there's knowledge to it too. I'm sharing some secrets that I used to be uncomfortable about sharing, but now if I don't do it, I'm getting old, so people gotta people gotta know how to play my style a little bit. So there should be a tutorial, because
It's
it's
time for
not
you to
something.
impart your wisdom.
It's not. Yeah, it's not something that so much. It's not normal guitar playing, so it has to be shown in a weird way, and there's a simplicity to it, but it's hard to explain to someone who's been playing for 30 years and is proper and technically proper, because it's not. It's completely off the wall, so I'm
You
just going
are
through some
a
shit.
man of your own style, that's for sure. Like
Yeah, well,
you made it the way you made it, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard to copy.
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to show someone how to do it. Jeff Matz is the only one I know that can do it perfectly. He can emulate. He plays exact. Sometimes we'll write riffs and we'll have this riff bank, and we won't know which one of us is playing it because he'll play guitar with me before he starts bass lines, just so he knows the guitar line. That way, it's easier to compose. And yeah, that dude, we can't tell the difference between us. He's that good at guitar now, So it's cool because he's got that toolbox, So.
You guys doing anything right now? You and
Yes,
Jeff?
yes. Actually,
Tell us
Chris
more.
Maggio is in town, so we're writing a record. We had time off. Like me and Jeff, took like 3 months off when the COVID thing happened. And I was taking 2020 off anyway. It's just for my own head and just to heal up and get like my diet under control and some shit. And yeah, and then COVID happened, and then he had kind of an elderly. His mother-in-law is a little, she's more at risk of the COVID thing. So we were at first not getting together, and then I told him, dude, I'll wear a mask when I go over there, and I'll just go outside and breathe when I smoke, or whatever. And so yeah, we started throwing a bunch of old riffs, rehashing, and then some new riffs, and then now we're cruising along. And yeah, I'd been working on a solo COVID project with my buddy he's kind of like family to me and my wife. So he was in our house during the whole COVID thing. He's like the only guy that would come over, and he's like, dude, I got to play drums. And I'm like, I got to play guitar, and no one's meeting with me. So come over. And then we started like a little project, and I started recording. Billy Anderson lives down the street from me, and we were longtime friends. And, he recorded up to Jerusalem, and then he recorded the 2 first Eye on Fire records. And he's got a basement. So I rented this Holland Hall studio, which is in Portland, which is an awesome studio. And we the tracks that we'd been working on, we just recorded the guitar and the drums and got the basic tracks. And then I just go over to Billy's basement and record a bunch of tracks over those. And I'm having, like, my wife plays Hammond on it. She's probably going to sing and play some guitar on it. Billy played bass on a song. My friend, who was like my longtime friend, Chad or Chief, he's my roadie. He was my sound guy. He's been with me on tour for years. So I'm letting him do some bass lines. We're having some other guest players, which will be a surprise. And like,
what's the vibe?
Yeah, I'm going to put that out before the High on Fire gets out, just to give all the fans something. And it's a little different. It's in the vein of like High on Fire, and see, it just sounds like my guitar playing, but it's a little more like off the wall changes and like weird kind of Zappa kind of shit, and just really trippy changes. But then it's still heavy and still has a bunch of dB, and so it's a lot of fun. It's what we did during COVID, just sniffed glue out of our masks and smoked weed and made up a bunch of riffs and did a bunch of nitrous.
All right,
so all
I'm down.
Wah, 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 wah.
And okay, so was it COVID that influenced this album, or drugs? Or COVID drugs?
Well, that's the thing. Well, during COVID, like, there were some drugs, but like I had a bunch of shrooms anyways. I always have a bunch of shrooms and a bunch of weed. It's legal here. Now everything's
legal in Portland or in Oregon.
And smoke coke outdoors, I saw this meme of this fucking like bearded homeless dude on a bike, and it said, yeah, you can now, like, it was like kind of funny. It was, heroin, cocaine, meth, join the pack. It's like this guy who's, you could just tell, lives in the park, So yeah, so it's like that here now. As much as the part of the city that I didn't really go to all that much is all burnt down or boarded up or whatever. I live out by the airport, so I can just get out of town and go on tour fast, and it ended up being like, this is a kind of boring neighborhood to riot in, so we were okay.
I had a lot of people asking me about, you came to Atlanta and you were doing some stuff with Brent.
Yeah.
Hines of Mastodon, obviously. And, people asking me all the time, like, I know you were around them. What did they do? What are they going to release anything? What happened with that,
Well, we're still working on that, and COVID kind of shut it down just because the 2 places that, like, I've been avoiding, like, I don't believe the fucking tests and the numbers all the way. But I do know that if you're going to get it, you're going to get it in an airport or a hospital. So I've been avidly avoiding places that are stupid, know?
That hospital tour was a bad idea.
The science behind half of it is really dumb. And then but there is science that you can fucking base your decisions about where you want to go with a COVID virus hanging around, But I'm not going to choke myself outdoors wearing a mask when it's not in the fucking thin air. You know what I mean? But when you go to the grocery store, the corporate grocery store, you know, that apparently that's a good place, but mom and pop's bar where they keep cleaner than any fucking Fred Meyer's or fucking Safeway I've seen. You can't go there and order some food or, you know, socialize. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't really get why walking around with a petri dish and doing this to people, you know, it works. It doesn't make sense. The rules that they keep, it's just kind of weird. So, you know, so it made it so that me and Brent couldn't really get together right now. But we wrote some tunes and we have some in the works, you know, and we're going to be getting together. The second shutdown kind of sucks, though, because we were going to get together again. But we'll figure it out. I'll fucking drive out there if I have to. Something like that.
Hey, you're allowed to come to our state. I don't think we're allowed to go to your state.
No, it's yeah. Well, but Oregon.
If you're watching, I'm in Georgia.
They were really
where Mastodon is.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really necessarily like Kate Brown, but she was really smart at the beginning of it. That's why we had such low numbers, because we're right by Seattle. It's just we fucking had mass and shutdowns, and you know, like kind of our numbers got curbed because we were quicker about it. You know, this state, but then, you know. But then it's.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm very much on the side of science about all of this stuff, but there is this sense that because it's not uniform, and certain places are doing certain things that others aren't, and yet the numbers.
The death rate hasn't gone up.
Yeah,
the death rate has not gone up, but the amount of people that got COVID has gone up.
Yeah, well, the forced lockdown doesn't necessarily result in a lower infection rate, is what I feel like, and that's weird to me.
The numbers are forged, dude. You know, and I'm like not a science denier at all. It's just it's very obvious that there's a political and corporate fucking thing taking advantage of it, taking advantage of, you know, something that's kind of tragic that came out of China or, you know, wherever. Some university somewhere that they were manipulating, you know, and yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't have a big opinion on it. I'm just taking care of myself because I know I said something about it before too, and I got ramrodded by half people. And
yeah, you told me before this not to talk about politics. So.
And I get ramrodded by both of them, and I'm like, dude, I'm just an anarchist who likes his freedom of speech and gun rights. And like, other than that, I really don't give a fuck about a government. It's killed more people than anything else in the world. You know, it's like, God damn it, I don't want to talk about politics. But COVID was.
Well, then let's not.
You kind of have to talk a little bit about COVID because it has to do with like how music's being made. You know, so that's why COVID got brought up. Just so you know,
yeah, it's got a huge
I'm not
impact.
Politics, I fucking hate it.
I've asked since the lockdown began, I've asked pretty much everybody how this whole situation, which is obviously going to affect musicians in a very unique way. I mean, no less work to no work. They're already emotionally unstable in a lot of situations, and something like this can really set a lot of artists off, especially ones that are less established and don't have, you know, the means to survive in situations like this. Yeah. So it's a big deal, and it's especially a big deal in this industry.
The online thing is, I mean, the Patreon thing started going really good, but it's a lot of work. Like, I have to film a bunch of shit. People at the $100 mark get like a gift basket this year, so I'm like hitting up my endorsement companies and seeing if I can, you know, send this or that, and like, you know, I don't think I could afford like, you know, 200 fucking orange little lamps to give out. You know what I mean? But like,
I wouldn't have them anyways right now.
Some pick things and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and like I'm just sending them a bunch of stuff, and yeah, it's going to be a surprise, so I'm not going to say all of it. And then,
you know what you could do, Matt? You could do what Gene Simmons did, or I think it was either Gene Simmons or it was all of Kiss, but they did that safe. It's like a safe that they released a few years ago, and it was like $2,000. But like in the safe, you get like a copy of everything they ever did, plus like a book, plus something they would. I guess they've just been storing a shit ton of memorabilia from way back.
Dude, yeah, that guy's a marketing genius.
Dude, cut a stage shoe in half and put one half in one safe and one half in the other, and you got a unique item that was like in his basement.
Well,
So
that's
you
what
can
I'm
just
doing.
go through your underwear drawer, man.
I'm doing some of that with this, and then I'm supposed to. I got to figure out how to do that, but you get a call on or around your birthday from me too. But I don't have enough birthdays yet to know when many people are. So I'm gonna start this just after January 1st. I'm just starting next year doing that because that's at a $50 mark, and you can watch my lessons and my extra shit that I throw up there and stuff, and it's cool, it's fun, and
Mhm.
it gives me something to do, instead of like, uh, jamming with John. But I get really depressed if I don't play, if I'm not doing something. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't stop moving ever. I barely sleep. I have to like, I don't sleep. I wait for everybody else to wake up so that we can start doing something. So I'm naturally motivated.
You sound like one of those kids that growing up couldn't wait to wake up so that he could get outside
Yeah,
and be gone for the day.
yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you know what? I don't want to let too many of these comments back up here real quick, but maybe some of this will, you know, spark some inspiration for continuing our conversation. But what do we got here? Oh, I like this one. Pike sporting the wizard beard. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good looking beard right now, man.
I know, dude. I hadn't grown my beard out. I mean, I'd always grow my handlebar out every now and then I was going clean shaven for a while because I don't know. When you get older, sometimes when you clean shave, you're like, I look fucking so much younger like this. You know what I mean? So you kind of feel like looking younger. And then this is the COVID beard, dude. I'm just doing the COVID beard. Seems like a lot of people did that. Um, yeah, no, and it's turning out real great. So I was thinking about going as bad Santa for Halloween, but there was no Santa suits that fit me in the whole town. So
Are we doing oh, you said Halloween.
Halloween, yeah, I was gonna go as bad Santa and just like, you know, carry around a bag full of empty vodka bottles, and you know, and fucking chain smoke like filterless cigarettes, and all the good stuff.
That's all. But there's a bad Santa here at Criminal Records in Atlanta that they do every year.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you go there and you get your picture taken with like this drunk Santa.
yeah. Well, I'm not drinking, but I can pretend I am.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, shit! I didn't realize you guys opened for Meshuggah.
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucking cool tour too. Very cool tour. Those guys rule. They're pretty fucking something else.
Yeah,
They
their
don't
live
use
show.
amps on stage.
No, a lot more bands don't these days, which is
Yeah,
why somebody like you is so important to somebody like us, because you
yeah.
you use so many orange amps on stage with Sleep.
Well, it's a thing, you know. Well, yeah, for sure.
Wow, you inspired someone to open an Instagram page.
Oh, good. That
You,
thing's fun too, dude. I put some funny shit up there,
yeah,
and
I think you're doing it well, man.
I haven't done an accident since that stupid fucking tax paper, but I figured out there's a shortcut to Instagram when you take a fucking screenshot,
Yep.
or you take a photo of something, and
Yeah.
somehow you can go directly to Instagram without hitting it the 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's fucking that's dangerous.
I remember seeing that post. I did see that post of you
That
putting your
was fucked
tax
up, man.
information on Instagram. And I thought it was some sort of like statement. You know what
Well,
I
it
mean?
said you better pay your fucking taxes or
Yeah.
you're gonna die. Or something like that.
Yeah. This guy, I'm so torn between orange and hovercraft. Well, get an orange. That was easy.
Get both. That's what I do. I own one of everything. 2 of everything if I like it enough.
Let's get some gear stuff, man. What is your favorite overdrive for recording? What's your go-to?
It depends. It depends what I'm doing.
Let's say Sleep.
Sleep usually I like the Rabid Mamal that Blackheart's made for me. But if it's an overdrive, see the Rabid Mamal is kind of like a more of a fuzz / distortion kind of thing. So that gets like that kind of chainsaw thing. Sometimes I find that if I record with like I have a Laney supergroup that's just loud as shit and if it gets gain by turning it all the way up. It doesn't have a gain knob. It is like natural distortion.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one of those Range Masters, and it's like what Tony Iommi used on, that he used that on the first Black Sabbath album. And then I think after that, when he went to Laney's. So if you use one of those into that Laney and you just crank it and you use the treble boost on that thing, dude, it sounds amazing. And then you can kind of mix a fuzz thing in. I do my overdrives in layers. Sometimes I'll use in High on Fire, I use some more metally ones like a Friedman or like Bogner, or sometimes I don't use one at all and I just use like a Twin Snake, which is Lone Wolf Audio's thing, and then I'll use the Daredevil Atomic Cock, which those have gain knobs, and then I'll use like some sort of EQ thing, and then I'll drive the amp with a natural amp.
Dude, that Lone Wolf is an awesome pedal.
That pedal's amazing, dude. That pedal's amazing. Sometimes, what's good too is like a yellow, especially if you can get an old one, is an MXR, just the yellow distortion plus.
Yeah.
Or I also have a GTO Soldano tube overdrive. I love the pedals that have the 12AX7s in them. Those are usually really cool.
But that little Laney Super Group, if you're not familiar with that, the Laney Super Group is like a little 3-watt practice amp.
No.
Which one are you talking about?
That's the one Iommi used in Paris. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like the little mini one they make now. It's like $70.
Oh no. But using I do like that too. I got this.
That makes more sense, by the way. I was really impressed though that you were using a little 3-watt amp though.
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes I will record with just a practice amp. Or on the Sleep record, I hooked 3 pig noses together and chained them, and then put them like facing each other. And some of the tones on the Sciences were made that way.
Don't you still bring that pig nose out with you in that Sleep setup?
I was doing pig nose for a while, and then I got a little orange, and I started putting the orange back there.
Oh, okay, perfect. That works.
Yeah, it was more convenient.
Oh man, I'm sure it sounds way better too.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, we got a lot of people are excited about new music from High on Fire. That's for damn sure.
Oh, dude, wait for my solo records coming out first. You guys got to pick that up. It's fucking thus far, it's fucking amazing.
Are you gonna do a deal where if you sign up for your Patreon, you get the album too? Maybe something like that.
I don't know, because I'm doing the album through E1. It's not on my own label because I don't have any money right now. Because if I had money to fund myself, I might take a stab at funding myself, but I don't. I haven't been on tour in like a fucking year and a half, it feels like,
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks, 75 YBA. You got a sweet trainer in there. Man.
Thank you very much. Windsor, Ontario.
The
Canucks. Up there drinking cocaine. Cocaine. I always thought that was funny, that beer's all cocaine. And back when High on Fire was partying really hard, I'd be like, oh, cocaine.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so I've been at Orange for 13 and a half years, and I think I met you the first time maybe 12 years ago at NAMM.
Back in NAMM?
Yeah, at NAMM. And boy, what a decade does. You know what I mean? Like, I remember you didn't have a shirt on. You're walking around the trade show floor without a shirt on. Just like sweating your ass off and like making a scene, dude. And I was like, shit, that guy is legendary. I immediately recognized the legendary status.
Yeah, I was a pretty hard partier and I was kind of a big dude to be like that, wandering around and scared.
Yeah. It's a little intimidating, for me. It was starting out at my first NAMM show.
I like to have fun,
You do, dude. You have fun with the best of them. Let's see what else we got here. Hot Glue Weed Mountain. Okay.
Hot Glue Weed Mountain.
Well, you're in luck, Alejandro, because a new High on Fire record is going to come out sometime in the future.
Yes, yes. We're working on it now, and the material we have, a lot of it, me and Jeff have had. I mean, like, we have like 4 hours of riffs on tape of just things we make up, and what we've been doing with Chris. Chris is like a very different drummer than Desi, um, and it. You know, we're going with the flow and the style of like who we're playing with rhythmically. So it should be very interesting. And so far, yeah, I've come up with some of the shit like just being locked down with COVID and stuff. Jeff and I like we're coming up with some crazy, crazy riffs. I mean, they're like next level. Plus, we have to. I mean, fuck, we won a Grammy accidentally. Got to kind of keep up with that. Got to get there's a high mark of like what we're expected to do.
First
And,
album
like,
after a Grammy win.
yeah, I'm gonna plan. I have it planned. I we're gonna win that.
Oh, you want another one?
No, I don't care about another Grammy. I mean, I wouldn't deny one, but at the same time, that's not my. You know, a Grammy's like, it's like a life trophy, but it's not my life's work.
Yeah.
My life's work is, you know, being out of the box, not mainstream, not it's real art, you know, it's real creativity, you know. Not to say that people who win Grammys aren't creative, but it's not mainstream, you know, and I intend to keep it extreme as it is, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mountain Dew. No, it's fucking sad. No, sorry.
Did you just compare yourself to Mountain Dew?
No, I didn't. That's what I said. Fucking sad. The extremism.
Here's a easy one. What's your favorite Black Sabbath song?
Well, the first one I ever heard, and I think it's the heaviest one almost that they have, is Into the Void. That's like, dude, I just remember doing this bong hit at my friend's, and we were like 11 or 12, and he put on Master Reality, and that song came on, and I just remember I wasn't used to weed yet, and dude, it's like the first time I correlated being so fucking stoned you forget your name and Black Sabbath at the same time. So I've been like that ever since, you know. But dude, I like all the Sabbath songs. I know all of them backward and forward by heart. It's like even the kind of kind of pansy ones, you know. Like,
How do you feel about your this generation's Iommi comparison?
What do you mean? Like Iommi now as opposed
Yeah.
to me then?
I mean,
Well, he's
you
still
are.
Oh,
Many people have said this generation's Iommi.
well, I appreciate that. And I try to be.
Well, there you go. You try to be, and you're accomplishing it.
I try to be myself. I'm not out to be Iommi. It's just because I like fucking worship the ground he walks on. I do, you know. I love Jimi Hendrix and John McLaughlin and Angus Young and all, you know, all the guys that I grew up on too, you know, and there's so many that I could go through, and Wes Montgomery, and like I have a lot of people I get excited about in my own head that I don't necessarily give lip service to all the time, you know. So
This is I don't think Nick listened to the beginning of our conversation. But has getting sober and getting in shape changed your writing process at all?
well, I mean, my
Or your
writing process,
music?
I'm
Not
usually
your writing
really-
process, but your
I'm
music.
usually really high. I find some way around, you know, not drinking alcohol, but I'm allowed to do other things because I don't really have problems with other things. You know, I won't go and kill 3 bottles in front of you. Like, so, you know, I smoke a lot of weed. You know, I do some shrooms. You know, I get down with my bad self, but it changed my writing process. It was more like the live playing was really hard to do, but it actually improved. Like when I stopped drinking on tour, playing live was really hard for me. I had a lot of social anxiety going on a stage and not having a shot and a beer it gets to your nerves. It's kind of frightening. And at first, when you're not used to it, it's kind of terrifying. But then after a while, you realize that you're playing a lot better and a lot more accurate, and then you get used to it.
Oh.
So.
I can't handle the fact that this light is doing what it's doing on my camera, so I'm gonna close this shade real quick. I've got another question for you here. This is a hard one for being put on the spot, but what are your top 3 songs?
Like other people's songs? I don't understand the question. My songs or other people's songs? Playlist. Life playlist. Life playlist.
Jesus Christ.
So life playlist, right?
Yeah.
So like other people's music, I'm taking it.
Oh, that's a good question. This top 3 song on his life playlist. Maybe we need to interpret this differently. I'm going to take it to mean your top 3 favorite songs that aren't your own songs.
Oh, okay. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Oh. Yeah, definitely Into the Void. God, it's hard to do just fucking 3.
I know.
What categories do I fucking do?
That's the thing, though, yeah.
Yeah, like, the last one.
Because mine's going to be like 3 to completely different things.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I couldn't live without, like, Slayer, Angel of Death.
You know what? It's the first thing that came to mind, so that's got to be it.
All right, I like the Metallica Battery. I don't know,
Oh, man, we're getting technical now. String gauges. What do you got?
Oh, mine's a custom set. It's 56 to 12, so they go down once, and I use a wound third. So it's 56, 46, 34, 26, 17, and 12, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 20. It's not a 26 plane though. It's a 20. No, it's a 24 wound. It's 34 and then 24 wound, 17 and 12. Pretty certain. I can't. I fucking don't remember. I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks, Christina, for the question. Oh, this is actually a good question because everybody's got their own. But what riff do your fingers naturally go to whenever you pick up a guitar? What's your just like, you pick one up, you start playing it?
God damn it. You like my intimidation licks.
Oh, yeah. What's your GC? What's your Guitar Center lick?
When you go and you're like, the best shit you know and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wank. When it comes, I just wank chromatically. I just play every note on the neck. Or I just play one note.
That's hilarious. Do you know what I love? That reminds me of Brent Hines. In that whenever Brent Hines picks up a guitar, everyone I've ever seen him do it in front of is like, here comes something. And then he's like, he like tries to play it like a banjo as hard as he can for a second, Yeah. And it doesn't sound anything like you'd ever expect him to play.
And he's all, hey, that goat likes rock and roll. And he's running around this yard chasing a goat, and like the goat's all freaking out. And like, that's what me and Brent, though, we're on this ranch in Texas, and like, we took some acid or something. And like, I went over there in between, I can't remember. Like, I had a show, but it was like an early show, and then I went out with him and a bunch of people later, and we went out to this farm, and he was like running around chasing a goat with a guitar, and it was fucking hilarious. I wish I would have had it on videotape. It was like so epic. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I believe it, man. He is
a walking fucking guitar lesson, dude, is what he is. For me.
Do you mean that in the way that like he's inspiring to you?
He's inspiring, and he's fucking so talented. That guy is so fucking good at guitar.
Yes.
It's unreal. And he's got style, and no one plays like him. I don't know a goddamn single person who can play like that guy.
I don't either, man. It's in all of my time working for Orange, he's the enigma to me. I mean, he's one of those guys that
personality's an enigma too.
Yeah, I've said this before.
Hilarious.
I mean, he makes Mastodon in many ways. He makes Mastodon. You know what I mean? He brings that level of like, what the fuck did I just hear? Like, who would have thought to do that? He brings that to it.
Well, it was really weird being in a room when they all met for the first time.
You were there?
Yeah, I was playing a show with 4 Hour Fogger and Weed Eater, and it was an ice storm outside. And Bill and Braun were there, but they didn't know Brent or Troy yet. And Troy and Brent were playing in 4 Hour Fogger, and then the first time I met Brent and Dixie, Brent and Dixie took a bunch of mescaline. We're playing kung fu games all night, and but Mastodon met at that like show party. It was pretty
awesome.
Cool. Yeah,
that's actually you get to say that, and that's really cool.
No, that's weird. I was like in the room when that hell of a monstrosity band met.
What's your favorite Orange amp?
The dual darks I like. I also like the ones that are kind of the older style. They're usually 50 waters, but they're like fuck, I'm having a brain fart. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You're talking about something we used to make?
No, you still make them, but they're the 50 waters, but they don't have the up. It's not new.
The rocker verb?
Not the rocker verb. It's the ones that are like, fuck. What are they called?
OR50, CS50. Yes. Okay.
The OR. I like those too. If I can't get the dual darts,
Yeah. You have the OR100s. I feel like a lot. Yeah, I feel like you usually have OR100s.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like all of them. I know how to use each one of them, but I prefer some over others just because of gain stages. But basically, they all sound alike. The EQ, they're very mid-rangey is what I like about Oranges,
Yeah.
So
look at this shit. Oh, fuck you for me not knowing every little tidbit about Matt's entire existence, you stalker.
You're getting punished, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I like when people attack me, and then my people will like attack back.
I have the upper hand here. 666 Slatterin 666.
Oh, be careful.
Yeah. Watch out. That's the devil's number. Question. Here's a good one. What is your current? Oh wait, no, that's actually it's not what I wanted to ask. But what do you have in your house right now? You got anything in there that you're playing with?
Yeah, I have a dual dark. I have a Yamaha. Well, it depends what I hook up. Like for the lessons, I have my SLO, and my Yamaha little combo amp that Soldano actually designed. Those two go good together. And then I have an orange. If I'm playing with John, I have an orange dual dark, and I have a Laney AOR from the 80s. That thing gets massive amounts of like low end. So I use it to I use the dual dark and that together to get this like really, I put all the low end kind of sounding shit on the bottom and then the high end stuff on top, and it gives it's good to record with, so.
That's your home rig.
Yeah. Yeah. And a bunch of cabinets. I soundproofed my garage, so I play pretty loud in there, and I have really cool neighbors right now. And we had a couple complaints, but I don't give a shit. It's before 10. It's not illegal, so fuck you, whatever. But my next door neighbor and across the street, they all know I play music, and the restaurant across the street with all the cool hipster kids, they all come out and like listen. I'll go outside to smoke, and there's all these kids out there like it's a concert. I'm like, right on, cool. You guys know, don't spread where I live.
Please don't tell anybody.
Put it on the internet, You
put your tax return on the internet.
Yeah, well, it it wasn't a return. It was a threat from the IRS saying that, they're basically really pissed at me for not catching up with my taxes. And I'm like, well, I'm pissed at you for not allowing me to make money this year. So, whatever. I think we can call it even at a certain point, please.
Do you, well, there you go. Do you use different speaker models besides vintage 30s?
Yeah, no, I don't even have a cabinet with vintage 30s. If I want those, I have to borrow Jeff's Marshall. I have ones.
But just to be clear, before you answer that, the ones that I supply you for sleep almost always have V30s in them.
Oh, those are all V30s?
Yeah, when you're playing live.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I never had to take one of those apart, so I don't know. Like the ones that I have.
Because they never break.
Yeah. Well, the ones that I have, that black one, I guess, has vintage 30s then. The stack I have. But, my other cabs, the Emperors and stuff, have I have some 70 watt, what do you call them? Well, I have Celestians that are like 80s, and then I have some other ones that are like Fanes, but they're a remake from this endorsement Jeff got. I have so many cabinets that are loaded with all sorts of different shit, but I usually use higher watt speakers. At least for the Hot on Fire stuff, usually they're I even got some American ones, or it's like from the American warehouse at wholesale, and they're 100 watters, but you drive them harder, and it's, they get different sounds. They're a little darker. So I use different ones for different things.
Oh, that's fair. Some of the best do. A lot of the artists that I work with usually take out, not usually. They'll take out two speakers. A lot of people take out two of the vintage 30s and they'll put in something like, I don't know, they might put a greenback in it or something just a little bit.
Yeah, greenback or
something that cuts a little harder.
That's what I was talking about. A bunch of my cabinets have Eminence 70 watters, 75 watters or something like that. We have Jeff has an endorsement to Eminence and Celestian and something else. He has endorsements to everything.
He really does, actually. I think I endorse Jeff too.
That guy's a batterer. He knows what he wants.
Here's an easy one. Here's a softball. Favorite venue in the United States?
Well, there's a couple of them. I love the Fox Theater in Oakland. I love First Avenue in Minneapolis. I know there's other ones that I'm not thinking of. It was really cool to play Webster Hall.
Nice.
In New York. What's that place in LA? There's one place that's fucking loud as fucking Wiltern Theater. That place.
Oh yeah.
That thing has some balls. That PA. You want to be loud? They can keep up with you. It's a really good place to play. Oh, also, Austin City Limits is a really good venue too. And it's like a concert place. It felt like we were doing a huge. Well, it was a huge show, but it's like, I think it holds 5,000 people or something, or 4,000 or 5,000, maybe even more. But it was really good venue. So
this might be a stupid question, and I honestly don't know the answer. But is the Austin City Limits venue the same one where they did the filming for the old Austin City Limits show?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I remember those growing up on PBS. You'd be 6 p.m. on Sunday night, and they would put on Austin City Limits.
Do a program. Yeah.
What's the worst gig you ever played?
Oh, dude, there was one it was in Minnesota somewhere, and there was one in Canada too. There was one in Minnesota. This is when I was still fucking a maniac, dude, just partying. And I got so drunk, and there was no monitors and I couldn't hear anything, and the tuner was fucking up on me. So I just took this tuner and ripped it off the floor. Everything was just blowing out, and George and Des were sitting there staring at me. And I just had a fucking attack, and I just grabbed this tuner and fucking hucked it at the crowd, and threw my guitar on the ground and punched my amp a bunch, and then went backstage and just left like 2 songs in, and yeah, and then yeah, and then yeah, it was a really bad one. That one was terrible. And then there was one in Canada. I did kind of a similar thing because all my gear was fucking breaking on me, and I got really pissed. And I'd been doing all sorts of stuff, and then they're all, "We were gonna give you some cocaine, bro, but it doesn't seem like you need any." I was like, "Fuck you, man! Fuck you!" I don't do that shit anymore, but
Yeah.
Certain people say cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Certain people.
Yeah, well, when you're young, it will get you through a tour and through a long drive at night after you've been ripping on fucking whiskey. And it's kind of crazy how much dumb shit we did like that.
Yeah.
We were fucking like Motley Crue without any fame.
Sometimes that's a good thing, right? Because that additional fame, that's the thing I think that might drive people over that edge.
You have to be more clever about getting your party on. Get good at talking to bartenders.
That's a very specific question.
That's a Bob Weir guitar. It's a Grateful Dead guitar, actually.
Really? It's a Bob Weir signature or something?
Yeah, that thing is made out of it's like someone carved that out of a tree without even putting a neck on it or anything. It's like one big piece of wood. It's fucking badass. And it doesn't sound like anything else. I left the original pickups in it too, which are crazy weird sounding, but yeah, I'd only use it for Leagues Beneath. But on that song, I could get that guitar sometimes to like really feedback permanently, and not just like bad feedback, like good feedback, like sustaining feedback if I stand in the right part of the stage. But then when I couldn't do that, it pissed me off, because it's like a challenge to do that. It's harder to get the thing to sing like that than it is to play the song.
Yeah. Well, here's a good follow-up to that question. Are you a Grateful Dead fan? No.
I had a girlfriend, and I went to one of the shows, and I tried to understand, and I don't hate them. I'm not like I dislike Aerosmith. But it wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, the girl at the time was, and she used to sell me bricks of hash, and I was all over that. So I went to a couple of shows with her. And you can score drugs there and go and sell them when you're poor and you're a musician. And I like that the culture is very into what they're into, but it was never my thing.
It's honestly just amazing to me that they were able to get on stage and play as a band the way they did while they were all on acid.
Yeah.
I can't.
I detoxed in rehab the first time I went to rehab. I detoxed in the room that Jerry Garcia died in, though. So I have some sort of weird connection with that, but it was never my cup of tea. I was never all, "Oh, I love the Grateful Dead." No, I don't play music like that, really.
You got one pedal forever. What pedal is it? Pedal you have to have.
I don't know, probably a tuner.
There it is. Yeah, actually a really good answer, man. If you're stuck on a desert island, you have one pedal and a guitar, you're going to need that tuner maybe.
Yeah. You're going to need a lot of batteries.
I didn't actually mean to click that one, but you might as well just answer it.
During the day, sativa. Before bed at night, indica.
A classic answer.
Yeah. I mean, that's the obvious.
What's the thing that inspires you the most? What's your muse?
Depends. It depends on the day. It depends on the subject. If I start thinking about a subject and doing research, or, looking up weird, esoteric, hermetic shit, about one thing, or, watching news and thinking about politics another day, or just my car running fucking awesome and like the way it sounds, and doing burners, and I'm like, yeah, I want the next song to sound like this. there's a billion things that like inspire me. It's a book that I read, like some sort of shitty person in my life, some sort of great person in my life.
That's a true artist answer in my opinion, because you know what, man? Some people quit being in bands when they finally find a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like there's that kind of like mentality to it versus like the lifelong artistry, everything can inspire me approach.
Yeah. And I couldn't be with someone who didn't accept me being who I am.
Yeah.
It's just, you'd be lying.
I don't even mean it like that. I mean like the search for love inspires their art, and then they find that love, and then they're like, I'm okay, I don't need to create more art anymore. So it was like a purposeful art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of musicians do that.
That sounds like that guy from Styx.
Yeah.
His name's Dennis or something.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, the guitar player all wanted to rock, and every song that guy would write would get softer and softer. He just couldn't fucking take it anymore.
Yeah.
That's like a true fucking narcissist sadist guy.
Yeah.
Just torturing his fucking bandmate.
Oh man, I don't know why I put this one on the screen. That was stupid. Just look, before you answer, I'm gonna love you anyways.
No, okay, this is why I would choose the Matt amp over the Orange, because the Matt amps were hardwired. There wasn't circuitry in them, and you can tell the difference. But they blew up. The Matt amps would blow up way more, and Orange is like way more stable, solid, and roadworthy. You know what I mean? But I did love the Matt amps because they were all unique and very, very, they're very tube, and they're all the ones I had were hardwired, but they were some of the first prototypes that came out of that place, So, and that's why I liked them. I don't know I haven't played through one in a really long time, and I don't own any of them anymore. So, but I love, if I had to go on tour, I'd just take both. Like I'm saying, I just have all of them, I'm a hoarder.
Whatever, Matt.
Okay, see, he's all pissed at me. It doesn't mean that fucking oranges suck. No, I'm just saying, it's a little more boutiquey. The green shit's boutiquey. It's like...
It is. Well, especially the stuff they're making now.
They don't even mass produce it. It's just like, or do they? I have no idea what's going on.
No, Matt amps aren't. I don't believe Matt amps are mass produced now.
No, I don't think so.
No. They're great amps. They are great amps. And if you don't know the history, if you're here watching this and you don't know the history, read up on it. Yeah. But Matt Mathias helped design some of the first Orange amps.
Matthew Mathias, yeah.
Here, this kind of a cliche question, but I do dig it. Do you have any advice for young guitarists? Everybody's got a different answer here, man. What's yours?
Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. No, man. Just stick to your guns and learn what you can off everyone. But stick to your own devices when it comes. Don't let anybody tell you you're wrong or you're right. You're never wrong. You're always right, actually. And there are no bad notes, just notes that people don't want to hear. That's why Dad invented jazz. But I love jazz, so whatever.
I get asked that question a lot, but it seems to be like, how do you keep a band going? You know what I mean? Like that's the question that I get asked the most often, and it's always it's literally don't give up, which is so stupid to hear.
No, grow a thick skin, grow a fucking thick skin, because you're going to need it. And
Yeah. But I mean, if you're not on the road and you're doing your shit and you're eating out of a quick stop and sleeping in a van, then you're doing all of it wrong.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. Mm-hmm. You're going to suffer.
Yeah, pretty much. You will suffer for your art at one moment or another.
Do you have any feeling about solid state amps?
I definitely like this Sun concert leads, you know. But Buzzy had those revamped too with them, or you know, they were putting out those same ones again, and they weren't bad. Uh, you know, yeah, I definitely like those. I mean, the, some bass amps, like the old Galen Kruger made some crazy shit for bass. That because the thing about a solid state amp is you can literally it can fall off the truck and you could put it back on the truck and it would work.
Yep.
That's a tube amp, it won't. And some solid states can be really get a little more power than you know you might expect. A lot of solid states because they're not the workings are different. You know,
Yeah.
There's a big difference between tube and solid state and the way the transformers, you know, integrate power.
I can hear it. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
I can hear the difference between digital and analog.
Oh, dude, I can hear a Kemper.
Yeah.
On a live.
No, I mean, I'm talking like records, like recordings.
Oh, okay.
I can tell when someone did something on tape or not, and no one else can hear it. That not many people can. I mean, like Jeff can, or like a few people I know can, but not. No one goes. Anyone that's like kind of born anywhere after like 85 or 86 doesn't know what you're talking about because all they heard was digital recordings. Unless yeah, not a lot of tape anymore. I'd love but Steve Albini owns all of it.
Yeah. Give it up, Steve. Quit hoarding it. You know what I can this is interesting. I can hear. Okay, so I just bought an out of print CD, right, from this dude named Kevin Gilbert. And he has this amazing album called Shaming of the True. And it's been a long time since I listened to a CD, if I'm being honest, man. I either listen to vinyl or I listen to, digital streaming. Right? Yeah. Because the in-between is kind of stupid to me. But a CD versus the way I've been hearing it, like ripped from YouTube, the difference is in the snare. I hear the snare as the most obvious difference between digital and CD. It sounds better on CD than it does on digital. Vinyl's a whole other thing, man, but it's in the snare for me.
Well, I find that digital is too quiet for me, always. You know what I mean? Or like you get your phone and it only goes so loud, and I'm like, I've been standing in front of like 12 amps my whole life, and I'm like, it doesn't go fucking loud enough, so I get a volume booster, and then it's all digital distortion in your ear, and I'm like, dude, there's just no way around it. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Got to turn the record player on, I guess.
Why do you hate Aerosmith?
I don't know. It's not so much the early stuff as it is just later and him sounding like a goat. It's just.
I had this one ready right here. I had this comment ready.
Yeah. I just don't like it. I don't dislike them as people. I mean, but it's kind of ridiculous how big they are without. Dude, I saw that guy do a guitar solo in Sweden, and he was guitar soloing to his
Joe Perry
his Guitar Hero character, and he was having the guitar off with it, and I was all, this is fucking sad, dude, because it was like terrible. And the dude's got breast implants, so it's just kind of like, I can't judge. I mean, you can do what you want with your guitar playing in your body, but it's not something I'm a fan of. And every time it comes on the radio, it kind of annoys me.
I don't even know what to ask you as a follow-up to that, but what's your favorite book?
Dude, well, I just got a lot of them. I mean, I love all the H.P. Lovecrafts, but they're all short stories, so there's so many different books with all the short stories. I can't particularly, just his whole collection. I love The Yellow King, and that's Chambers. I love the Epic of Gilgamesh. I even like I really like the Old Testament and the Bible. I get so much shit from that because I was a kid and I grew up on that. You know what I mean? And my mom, and it didn't mean I'm not a Christian fanatic or something like that.
Were you in church every time the door was open, though?
I find the book intriguing. I find the book very intriguing because it's full of crazy shit, and it
But when you say that, were you at church a lot?
Well, my mother was like, we were non-denominational, but my mother was like, a little bit of a thumper, and I was expected to know all that and go to church and all that, and that ceased when I was like 8 or 9. I turned into, I wasn't buying
Matt Pike.
Yeah,
you turned into Matt Pike.
I wasn't buying what people were telling me, just like I don't now. It's like I've always been like that. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of books that I like that I'm not even thinking of. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I read those were some of the first ones. Like I read The Hobbit when I was a kid. Like my grandfather gave me the whole series. That old Peter did. Yeah, there's a lot of books that I like. I don't have one particular favorite.
I like. Actually, you know what? Do you ever read Stephen King?
Yeah.
Big fan. I'm finally a big fan. It took me a while to get into it.
I read The Stand and I read It. And The Stand, you have to like take notes.
I'm still
all the fucking characters.
I'm still working through it
because it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I'm halfway through, and I bet I've got 50 hours into it. Do you ever get anxiety from weed? Weed gets anxiety from Matt Pike.
No, I've definitely man. There's been times like my tour manager at the time, Damon, gave me this gummy on an airplane right before we got on it. It was so fucking strong, and I dude, everybody was getting on the plane when it really hit me hard. So I barely made it to my seat. I had to I was like almost dizzy. And I get on, and the first thing that comes on is King Kong, and there's like an airplane accident, and it was terrifying. And we were going to Europe, so I was on that plane that stoned for at least 4 or 5 hours.
Let's do a few more of these. How much Dope Smoker was written out versus improvised on the spot?
It was all written out.
There you go. I believe that too, because, well, I mean, knowing you, but also just the way that it's created, to me, it couldn't possibly have been improvised.
No. There's charts and charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had even the solos. I think the off the cuff stuff was Al was working on lyrics in the, when we got to the point where he was doing vocals. He was erasing things and changing his mind and erasing things and putting something else. And, yeah, it was a crazy time.
Fuck you, P. Wayne.
You know that lady?
Yeah, I don't think that's the lady that's saying that. Yeah. If I had to guess. I don't know. But, yeah, go fuck yourself. I love this company because they've let me do this. They've let me be myself all these years. So, how often do you get your 12th fret replaced?
I've had a couple fret jobs in the last couple of years. I actually. It's not just the 12th though, but yeah, it's definitely up around that box that the fret starts buzzing first, or on the very first fret. And a lot of the guitars that I buy will be vintage and already have kind of worn frets, So if they're like that and I'm going to play it live and stuff, I'll just get a whole new fret job. Try different frets because someone's going to ask that. And I've had jumbo frets. I've had kind of these weird, different kind of frets. I can't remember what they were, but he's all, you should try these out. And I like them, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys, give me something impressive to ask Matt. No, you know what? Let's just a little bit more about your Patreon, man, before we get out of here. What's the deal with that? How often are you posting content to it?
There's a lesson a month, and then I throw some extra stuff. There was two lessons this much, and I do shout outs to I do shout outs to people's paid, people at certain tiers, and yeah, yeah, it's like a couple times a month I put some material up and put some old pictures, and just make it cool and worth their while and fun to be around. Try to.
And tell everybody about your OnlyFans. Now, how much is there? Is there a nude level on your OnlyFans, or
A nude level?
yeah, is there like a certain amount of money you can pay to see like more shirtless stuff, or
Oh no, I'm not really doing that right now. That's for live shows, man. And I only do that because I just don't want the laundry. I don't need a bunch of sweaty laundry. I have one pair of pants and some long underwear that kind of absorbs the sweat, and I don't put them on till night, and then I don't wear a shirt because I don't want to do laundry. So it's like that's the whole point. And I feel comfortable because it slides a little better across, and like a lot of my guitar playing is based off like how the guitar does this and where I'm standing singing.
yeah. You know what? Let's do one more. I like this one. Do you have any warm-up techniques?
Yeah, if you well, I showed some.
This might be something on your Patreon, right?
Yeah, I showed some on the current lesson. Yeah, real briefly, I went through it and just kind of showed people what I do, but I didn't make a big chart out of it. I was just like, okay, do this for 30 seconds, then do that for 30 seconds, then do this, and go all the way up and down the fretboard, and that's it, and then stretch out. Yeah, so that's on a Patreon on a certain tier that you can watch my lessons.
I love it, dude. This is so much fun, man. You're still one of my favorite people.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad we finally did this, dude. You were seriously a legend and an inspiration to a whole generation of guitar players. And I hope that this is new High on Fire and this new solo album that you're coming out with are as good as I expect them to be.
Oh, they will be. They will be, and I'm flattered by you saying that.
I also just want to take a quick moment and recognize before we get out of here an excellent human being who recently left us, Mr. John Hopkins.
Yeah, dude, that was one of my best friends in the world, and I haven't said much about it online because it's very personal to me. And yeah, I lived in a bus with that guy for the last 13, 14 years or something like that. And yeah, he's one of my favorite, one of the most awesome people I've ever met. He's an amazing dude. And gigantic, dude. Like, no one would ever not pay us. Like 6'6" and like 400 pounds.
He was literally one of the most intimidating people I ever met. And that was mainly because, to me, even though I knew that we were on friendly terms, sometimes I couldn't tell if we were on friendly terms because he was just so, like, dry. You know what I mean? And it was it's so intimidating. He was accidentally intimidating to me.
Yeah.
But then once you know him, you know that he's on your side.
That gigantic man, though, could fit into the smallest spots. I've toured with him in a teeny little fucking van, and he did it somehow. It's like, how do you even get in the bunk, dude? Like, I'm fucking big in the bunk. The bunk's always like, I'm 2 inches bigger than the 6 foot bunk. So I'm always like, going bald from scraping my head on the wall. And he'd get in there somehow. And I'd just be all like, dude, what the hell? Okay. Best tour manager ever. Best sound guy. And he was a great guitar player. So
he was all three, man. And he was a very good person. And
great human being.
We will all miss him, man. So my condolences to you and all of the artists that worked with John Hopkins over the years.
We're all bummed, man.
Yeah.
It's a great loss.
Man, Matt Pike, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for joining me on Artist Relations Corner.
All right,
I wish you the best of luck, man, in all of your endeavors and in the coming months as we try to work our way out of this fucking hole we're in, and musicians start getting back to being musicians.
Yeah.
Any parting words?
Hey, thank you all. Yeah, come see me on my Patreon. I'll have some more Instagram shit up because I guess I have to be online now. I won't have any social contact ever. And thanks, Alex. Yeah, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you to everyone that joined us for this. This was a lot of fun. My favorite by
thanks a
far.
lot.
All right.